So today I'll be speaking about the triangles of the neck. So first we got some few bones: the mandible, the mastoid, and then you have the hyoid bone, and there is just below the hyoid you have the sternum, then you have the clavicle, and then you have the scapula. So there are 6 triangles of the neck. Okay, so let's start drawing the muscles one by one. So the first is the sternocleidomastoid, right? So it has to connect the sternum, the clavicle, and the mastoid, as the name suggests. So first you have the sternocleidomastoid, then posteriorly you have another muscle called as the trapezius muscle. Okay, so in the posterior triangle you have anteriorly sternocleidomastoid and posteriorly trapezius. Now coming to the anterior triangle. Anterior triangle's first muscle you got to know is the digastric. It has anterior belly and posterior belly. Okay, so you have the posterior belly of digastric, anterior belly, and the posterior belly of digastric. Okay, and then there is this another muscle which joins the hyoid bone, which divides the posterior triangle into two. Okay, that is the omohyoid, inferior and superior belly of omohyoid. Okay, so so this is a posterior triangle. The posterior triangle it's divided into two by the inferior belly of the omohyoid. Okay, so it's divided into two further triangles. The above is the occipital triangle, and the below one, which is just above the clavicle. So that's why it is called as the supraclavicular triangle. So the posterior triangle is bounded anteriorly by the sternocleidomastoid, posteriorly by the trapezius, and inferiorly by the scapula and clavicle. Okay, so it's divided into two. Which are the two parts of the posterior triangle? You have the occipital and the supraclavicular triangle. Okay, and now coming to the anterior triangle. So this triangle, which is just below the mandible, it is called as the submental triangle. Okay, so submental triangle, and to the two sides of the submental triangle you have the digastric. Why is it called digastric? Because it's bounded by the two bellies of the digastric. Now we can draw an imaginary line from the hyoid to the sternum. Okay, and then you can see two triangles. Okay, divided by the superior belly of omohyoid. So superiorly you have the carotid triangle because it has the common carotid artery and all. Okay, so this is a carotid triangle, and inferiorly you have the muscular triangle because it's bounded all by it has a lot of muscles as the contents. Okay, so you have first the occipital, second supraclavicular, third the submental, fourth the digastric, fifth the carotid, and sixth the muscular triangle.